Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. We are here at Private Coffee, our second episode. How exciting. This is raw, unfiltered conversation with the most brilliant minds in the private space, powered by Fully Homomorphic Encryption, FHE. I'm still learning how to say that again. Our mission here at Private Coffee is to spotlight the talent within Zama. That's why we have Patricia and Joaquin here with us, sharing their stories and their vision for the future. Today, we are heading virtually to Spain to host this conversation with the co-founders of PayChain. Welcome, welcome, folks. How are you doing this morning for me, afternoon for you, I guess?
Thank you, Carla. Thank you for the introduction. We're doing great, actually. We're happy to be able to have a space to share what we've built, and also the trajectory we've had with FHE and what we've learned about it and about cryptography, and just trying to get this knowledge out in the open, because when you talk about FHE to people, they don't actually know what you're talking about. It's not actually like talking about a common database. So yeah, it's not a common topic. So happy to be here. Yeah.
That's why we have the experts with us today to talk about it. Welcome, Joaquin. How are you doing this morning, afternoon?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having us. I'm very happy. And to be honest, I was kind of nervous, to be honest, too. but I'm very happy. I'm very happy. I learned so much with this project. Patricia taught me so much, and I'm happy to be here.
Fantastic. So you both are solving a very critical challenge for companies in Web3 is how to pay your people, your team, privately using a public blockchain. This is a really cool problem to solve. And that's why we have Patricia and Joaquin here to share with us what they did. And first of all, congratulations, because you are the winners.
Thank you so much.
One of the winners of the special bounty track on the developer program at Zama. So congrats. That's why we have you here. How was the experience?
Thank you so much.
Fun? Exciting?
Yeah, really good. Actually, I've been following FHC for many years now, since around the ending of 2020, beginning of 2021.
You're a total OG in this area.
Yeah, I'm a veteran right now. Yeah. And the first time I tried to talk about FHC to, my friends, my family, I told them, yeah, I'm studying fully homomorphic encryption. You don't know the faces they gave me.
Can you imagine?
They were like, yeah, I'm talking to an alien, basically. So,
that's when your mom and your grandma never know what you do for work. Yeah.
They say, basically, I fix routers. So we've established I fix routers, and that's the only thing I do. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you for that. Those are the real stories behind the builders. So here, and before starting with the juicy question that we have for you both, I want to thank Jan from the Zama team that is joining us backstage, helping us that everything so everything runs smoothly, and my dear Redman also that is on X, sharing what we are doing here and inviting more people to join. So please don't forget to follow Zama on X and Private Coffee _ also. And I'm Carla. I'm the host of this show. I'm a Web3 founder since 2017. I'm based in Costa Rica. And my dear Redman is from Nigeria. He's a dedicated contributor across multiple ecosystems. We are producing Private Coffee in partnership with Zama. Just before starting with the technical part and all the explanations for our grandmas, I want to know a little bit about you both, about the team. I know you're in Spain. Where in Spain? Spain is a big country. Where in Spain are you, and how do you two meet, and why are you working together?
Okay, yeah. So we're both based in Madrid. I'm actually from Madrid. Joaquin is from Peru, but he moved to Madrid many years ago. So
fellow Latin American. Okay.
Yes, I'm Latin American too.
So we got to know each other because of our jobs. We work in different companies, but there was this one project where we collaborated. So we were in the same team, and that's how we got to know each other. And we kind of really clicked, and we liked how each other worked and how we kind of approached projects and problems. So after that, when the Zama Builder program came up, I contacted him and I was like, do you want to join me on this? Like, do you feel like doing it? It's something kind of new, but you're really good with UI, with UX, with building applications. So I think that it can be a good fit because each of us can participate kind of in a different sense in the project. So, well, he said yes, so we're here.
Fantastic, those serendipities. So it's a good match. So you have the technical knowledge about FHE and encryption, and then Joaquin, you bring the UX, which is crucial in this project, right?
Yes, and that was my part. I feel kind of obligated by Patricia. Let me be honest, of course. But yeah, once when she told me about this project, I must be honest, I didn't know so much about blockchain and about FHE, and I started learning, and I liked it so much. So, well, I came to Spain 3 years ago. I'm from Peru, as Patricia just said, and I studied web development. So I didn't know anything about blockchain and any of that. So I want to say thank you to Patricia to introduce me in that world.
Yeah. She took you out of the matrix right away.
Yes.
Apologize for it. So.
What a fantastic way to start in the frontier. At the frontier, you're not just entering blockchain; you're entering the frontier of privacy, and this is what we need to actually onboard real people and big companies and institutions to blockchain, and to for everyone actually to get the benefits out of it, right? Because we are not used our information to be out in the open. People is not used to have their payroll information, for example, their company secrets out in the open. And the transparency that blockchain has, which is a strength, it can be also a liability, right? In terms of responsibility for companies and employees. So that's why this case that you bring is so important. Patricia, I know that you be in this, you already shared since 2021. What was that brought you to FHE? Why were you exploring this area to start with?
Yeah.
Why deep tech?
Yeah, it was actually by chance. I wasn't actually looking for it, but I was finishing my degree in telecommunications, and I was actually specializing in network communication, cybersecurity, kind of that area. And then I got the opportunity through one of the professors at my university that he talked to me about FHC. It's like a random fact. And then I got investigating about it, and I found out it was quite interesting. There wasn't much information on the internet at that point. There was just like a couple random GitHub repositories, but not much more than that. And he offered me to be the tutor for my thesis and to do it about FHC, like to try to bring FHC from a theoretical point of view to something real, to something that actually works. I thought it was really interesting, also really hard. It was kind of scary because we didn't have ChatGPT like we have now. So I had to...
We didn't have our dear friends, yeah.
Yeah, I had to write on Discord forums at 3 a.m. and ask people to call me and to help me with my code. It was kind of... Coding was a really different world that it is nowadays. Just ChatGPT, and it basically does your whole code. But I had bugs. I couldn't look in Stack Overflow, which is something so new. And I had... Basically, there was not much of a community, and there wasn't much help nor information online. So if I had an issue and something didn't work, I just had to keep fighting it an hour after another and day after day until I found something that actually worked.
And you were also, I mean, inside the academia. How was the environment to explore this topic? Were people also interested as well, or everyone was just looking at you as, what are you doing? What is Patricia doing?
Well, at the beginning, people didn't really understand what I was trying to study, because at that point, AI was kind of a thing. Also, blockchain was kind of a thing. Nobody knew what FHE was. It was like really different off-the-shelf topics, so nobody actually knew what I was studying. So people just said I was studying something really difficult, but that was like basically the end of it. And I tried to explain, and right now most of my friends and family, if they ask them about FHE, they actually know what it is. But just because I've talked to them about it, it's not like something you find on the internet on your own.
Let's do a fun test. So we can have people now that are listening that are fully into FHE and crypto, and we can have new people as well that is just curious about this. How can you explain FHE in easy terms for your grandma, for your mom to understand?
Well, that's something I had to do at the beginning. So for me, I explained it like having a balloon and filling it with kind of dust or something that it's kind of a bit rigid, but not too much. So you fill a balloon with, for example, sand from the beach, and you fill it with sand, and then you send it to someone, and then they can kind of move it and then give it a shape, but they don't know exactly what is inside. So for me, that's the way I like explained it at the beginning. Is like you can shape it and you can change the core value of it, but you cannot actually see what it's inside. And that's how I tried to explain it. It kind of worked.
Now I understand why Joaquin joined you. If you explain it like
Yes.
that's really
She
fun.
explained it. She explained it the best way.
All the sensory things, fantastic explanation. It's like having your data there, but you don't need to see it in order to do something with it, right?
Exactly.
Very much. Fantastic. And now that you mentioned AI, that is helping you move fast. Do you think the research in the academia and the universities are catching up, are staying ahead, or are they running like crazy behind?
Depends how you kind of focus it. I think for me, AI should be a tool. It should be kind of your co-worker, and you ask stuff to it. But the main brain, for me, it should be the person, and then it's kind of a co-pilot or a co-worker. So what I've mostly seen with AI is that before you actually had to understand the core of a project or of a technology, you had to understand its core and its value to actually build something with it. And right now, you can build something with that technology without having to understand that technology. So for me, I feel like, development should kind of take a step back with a technology that's really hard to understand, and firstly focus on really understanding what you're doing it for, how it actually works, and then building something with it.
Exactly, and I think you got to the point, a really important point. You can really understand the problem you're trying to solve and what value you want to bring to people. The problem you're trying to solve and what value you want to bring to people. I would love to hear that from you, Joaquin. Why did you both chose this topic to work with, payroll and in private payments on chain?
We look for a problem to solve, and we understand that the payments are the most important thing right now for someone, because you live for that, you work for that. I mean, you spend 8 hours of your day or 9 hours of your day working for money. That we need to take care about the privacy of the money, and of course we focus too on the company privacy, and I think that's also important.
Fantastic. Can you explain why it's so relevant for on-chain payroll and how to approach this idea of privacy by design?
Well, kind of the idea, we were thinking about PayChain and the concept of PayChain. We thought about which data we actually need for an employer to pay an employee. And from that, we kind of did a list of which data do we need. We need, for example, the name, for example, the address, to actually have something legal, not just that it looks good and it uses FHE, but to have something that actually can be used.
Compliant,
yeah. Yeah, so we got to have like kind of a list of values that we have to collect from an employee or from an employer. At that list, we realized we cannot put it on chain, because the point is, if we kind of encrypt the value of their salary, but we put on chain their address, their full name, their ID, this is not gonna make the cut, So we kind of divided that list into on-chain and off-chain. So everything that went on-chain had to be encrypted with FHE, which is basically the salaries, how much money you have left, but not with a typical RC20 token, but with the one compliant with Zama. So we did that on-chain, and then off-chain, we kept like the personal data of employees, for example, name and address, but we applied this typical encryption and with key rotation. So we didn't kind of reinvent the wheel on that one. We just used what actually existed and what was actually legal to use. So we did a part of kind of innovation with the on-chain part with FHE, and the rest we just kept it as legal as possible and as GDPR as possible. So we just we're trying to build something that can actually be used and can be useful for people.
Really important message for everyone trying to build something that is actually solving a real problem, which you should be doing, is most of the work sometimes is not the code. It's actually understanding the context, understanding the problem, understanding the legislation. I know it's boring, but it's important. Understanding what people actually do in the day-to-day. And I'm curious, did you do this work with maybe, I don't know, a fellow lawyer, someone help you, or with the input of a user that helped you on creating this?
Actually, it was mostly based on previous experiences.
Your own previous experiences, of course.
Yeah, exactly. We've been actually working with personal data. On my day-to-day life, I work on cryptography and protecting data. So it just kind of came to me naturally that the first point was being GDPR compliant. And then the rest of the environment is going to come along. But firstly, just be compliant with legal basis. So from an architecture point of view, we started from that and then we built everything else. But yeah, it was, as we were saying, it was kind of harder to define what the ecosystem is going to look like and what's going to go where and how the architecture is going to look like that actually building it. So yeah, exactly. I agree with what you said.
And I love that somewhere I read that you said, or Joaquin said, that you don't want to solve all the problems. You want to just create something that works and shows people the potential of it and makes it easier for people to understand how this works and the advantages. So you have a demo. So you have something that you want to show us, right?
So the first step of this demo is to connect to a wallet. First of all, we need to connect to the wallet that we need to that we want to register the company. First of all, we are looking for the point of view for a company. Okay, so we first connect to our wallet and we're going to register our company. We just need the company name and the country code. Once we register our company, the transaction starts. And then we can go to our dashboard. On our dashboard, we have our foundings. So we are going to transfer USDC to our foundings, and then we're going to grab to a confidential balance. That's the first step that we need to make. Okay. Once we finish this step, we can see our balance as a company. We can see how much money do we have
left to distribute. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes, of course. And then we can register a new employee. Right now, for example, we don't have any employee, and now we are registering an employee. The full information of the employee, and of course, his or her wallet, and the monthly salary. That's also important to save. And then once we save the employee, we can go to our roster and we're going to see immediately our new employee. And all of this is also saved in a database, all encrypted, everything is secure. And then we can see the operation controls and we can save the renewal period, which means we can pay our employee, for example, every 15 days.
Recurring, which is nice. If people is working, you should pay them.
For example. That should be nice. And then we can change the renewal period, of course. And we can execute a payroll. We can execute it manually. And we make the necessary verifications, so you don't make double payment. You don't run double payroll. That's also important because you can make a mistake and you can execute double payroll, and that's not what a company wants, I guess.
No. The employee can be happy, but
yeah, but the company, I don't know.
definitely.
And then that's everything you can do as an employer. You can manage your employees and all of the things that we just saw. And now we are entering as an employee. We have to connect our wallet, and then we are going to open the first page. This is my salary. By default, we show this as a principal page. We think this is the most important part. The most important part of a payroll system. Me as an employee, I always want to see my salary. That's the most important thing. And we can decrypt our salary, and then also we can decrypt our balance. We have the balance saved. If we don't move our salary, our payrolls, it will be safe on our token balance. And then you also have the information of your last payment. You have full information as an employee and also as an employer. You can manipulate everything you want. And then we can convert the tokens to USDC. That's also important. We don't want to save our money on PayChain. I want my money on my wallet. And we also have that option. We can convert the USDC, and we have to put also the direction wallet. Then that's everything you can do as an employee. That's the most important things that you can do. You can see your salary, you can see your balance, you can get your money in your personal wallet, and that's everything you need as an employee. Then, of course, in case of UI, we have dark mode, light mode. We also have, we can, you as an employer, as a company, you can delete your company. You have a typing verification, and then you delete your company. Also, we have multiple languages. Right now, we have 3 languages: English, Spanish, and French. And here we can see all the data saved on the database. We save all the logs, all the information, everything encrypted with AES 256, and all the information that we save from the user, from the company, and everything completely encrypted and completely safe. And that's everything we have about PayChain.
Fantastic. Well, we should all do a round of applause. Yay. And this is the basic. This is like the basic functionality, right? You have, as you mentioned, a company, they have their employees. Everyone can see what they need to see, not more, and everything is secure. I can imagine many, things on top of that can be built, right? I can imagine that you have maybe a roadmap of ideas that you want to build next, or things that can be fun. For example, if, you have people from human resources and they need to do things with the, calculate a bonus at the end of the year. They don't need to see the information, but they can calculate the bonus, right? Without even knowing the information. Things like that could be fun. I don't know if things like that are in the future for you. What do you think?
Yeah, we kind of had the idea that if we wanted to grow this platform, the idea would be firstly compliance with the legal ecosystem of each country. So Spain doesn't exactly need to work exactly as France or as Germany. So, for example, in Spain we have the Hacienda, and we have to be compliant with their legal requirements. So we would have firstly to see which kind of documents we would need to generate from these payments to directly be able to kind of give the authorities of each country. So I think the remaining work is also, once again, more legal than technical, because at the end of the day, the technical part is kind of what comes easy. When you know what to do, you just have to build it. But the hard part is knowing exactly what you need to do. So I think it kind of goes more in that line about aligning with the legal principles of each country knowing the differences, how to, for example, USDC is a fiat coin, but it can be used in the US. But for example, for Europe, we would need, for example, EURC. So it's kind of a different fiat coin that we would need for Europe instead of the US. So I think the idea is to grow it globally and to adapt to legal practices of each country. Yeah.
Definitely, definitely. The challenges are more about the regulatory context, the expansion, right? The scalability of it, how to adapt it to every country. And who is the ideal early adopter, let's say, right? Your ideal client right now, your ideal user right now. Um, if there's I don't know, founder of a company or a DAO that is listening today, what are the specific pain points they have that will make them switch to PayChain right now, let's say?
Well, the idea would be, for example, people who are already paying their employees on chain, and they are actually having to, for example, they have to build a private blockchain, or they're having to give their money to a third party to handle the payments for them. So, for example, an employer that wants to have full access over his or her money and wants to be their own company who handles all of their resources and not having to, give them to a third party to pay their employees for them. So that would be, for example, I would fit to switch to PayChain. Another possible example, as I was saying, someone who's thinking about building a private blockchain because they're scared of, paying their employees in a public blockchain and everyone being able to see the salaries. Just you could use a public blockchain as we're doing, but encrypting the salaries. So with this kind of on-chain, off-chain hybrid approach, you would have the benefits of both. You have the benefits of a public blockchain, but you also have the benefits of a private blockchain in the terms that your salaries cannot be seen by anybody you don't desire to. You have a list of ACLs, of an access control list, and you decide actually who can decrypt what. So with that ACL control, you actually can do anything you want on a public blockchain. So that's kind of the idea. There's people who are already paying on basically on chain, but want to, keep that privacy, but also keep the good points that, for example, Ethereum can give you or Base can give you.
Fantastic, and definitely it's a game changer. I mean, you are as an employer forced or you have the obligation to protect the information of your employees. The salaries must be private by law in many countries. I don't know if all the countries, but in many countries that's by law. Of course, under GDPR. So definitely a big change. And how can people reach you if they want to try it out, if they want to test it, or if they want to run a demo or an experiment? Are you open to that?
Well, yeah, we're obviously open through the official webpage we have from the live demo. They can, for example, access it through the Zama webpage. As Zama included all of our details in their page when we won the contest, so they can access through it. And if not, at the end of this chat, if anybody is interested, we can give out our emails and they can directly contact us through email, whatever they prefer.
Fantastic. A quick pause here just to remind everyone that we are here at Private Coffee, episode 2, with a PayChain from Spain. Patricia and Joaquin are sharing their story. If you are joining right now, you just lost the demo. It was fantastic. And don't forget to follow Private Coffee _ and Zama FHE on X so you don't miss our future episodes. We're solving a big problem that can bring a lot of new users to the space, which is really important. We have many of the applications that are developed every day in blockchain are just fighting for the same users of the same Web3 users. And you're actually building something that can bring not only the companies that are already paying, as you mentioned, Patricia, but also companies that now finally can trust and can use blockchain because of this privacy layer. Are there any other things that you would like to see being built on Zama, or other things that you both want to build next?
Well, I think Joaquin can take this one because he's actually been working on a kind of new project about it. So you go.
Give us some alpha.
I'd like so much, everything about FHE, and I started thinking about problems that should be or could be solved with this technology. And we found, because it was me and Patricia, that, for example, when you borrow money or where you want to lend some money, you also can use the FHE technology on the blockchain. So we started building that new platform, and well, we are going to see how it goes.
Fantastic, fantastic. And I love that you just joined the ecosystem with Patricia for this and already thinking on the next thing to build
On
and
the next, yes.
identifying
Yeah.
other problems that worth pursuing. That's fantastic, Joaquin. Definitely, lending, borrowing is huge. DeFi, a lot of users exposing their data all the time. Many opportunities there for you. Any other use case, Patricia, that you would like to see being built on the ecosystem?
Well, I'm also working on something for the next season of the Zama mainnet program. I've actually been working on something kind of weird, let's say. I saw one of the episodes of Black Mirror, and do you remember there was an episode where people kind of had a score on their foreheads, and you
Oh,
had a
yeah.
0 to 5, and
Yeah.
depending on
And
your
you lose
score,
points and earn points. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And people, depending on they cross with you on the street, and if you were nice, they give you like a thumbs up, and your score went up. So
Yeah.
after I saw that episode, I thought about that kind of same idea, but for accessing web pages. So I've been kind of working on a plugin to kind of for kind of developers and web page owners to include in their login page. And when you kind of click to login, you join your, for example, your MetaMask wallet. And from that wallet, it goes to a system I've built that is with AI that I've trained, and the model is secured also with FHE, because Zama offers FHE for blockchain, which is kind of the thing we're talking about now. But I've been following Zama for many years, and I also know they have FHE for IA. So what I've actually have done is kind of also a backend server with an AI model that has been trained for a lot of transactions that are public, malicious, and also normal transactions. I've trained it and then protected it with AI with FHE. So then your wallet is evaluated against that model to see if it fits some some malicious pattern, and then you get a score from 0 to 10. And then the web page owner can define only people who with a score higher than 7 can access my web page. And then I built kind of a trading website. But to access a trading website, you need to get a score higher than what the owner of the web page has actually set up. And then inside the web page, a trading web page, what I'm putting is that to trade with someone, you kind of allow in your ACA list from your encrypted, score, you actually add the person you want to trade with. And then they can decrypt your score and decide whether they want to trade with you or not.
Kind of a only channel for you both to do it safely.
Yeah, and kind of with a timeout in that sense. You can score it from 1 hour for 1 day for a week. And then after seeing someone score, you decide whether to trade with them or not. So it's kind of a Black Mirror episode, which I don't know to take ideas from Black Mirror.
I love that we started with this topic and we are going to the bright side of security.
Exactly. I don't know if it's a good idea taking ideas from Black Mirror, but I thought it was, from my IT point of view, interesting.
Super interesting to be scored and to have access to websites according to that. I can think of many things that can go well with that, and also in my imagining things can go wrong.
Yeah,
exactly. As well.
Yeah,
what are the things that you will be worried on something like that?
Yeah, I was building more of like a FHE loving point of view, but because I was mixing AI with FHE and blockchain with FHE. But then how somebody uses it, that's kind of going to be the ethical part is going to be the tricky part, I think.
Definitely. But it's really interesting, the thinking behind it and the use that the application of FHE on the AI sector. I think there are many opportunities there for builders. If you're listening and if you want to explore this, if you get inspired by Black Mirror as well, you know that you can get in touch with Patricia and brainstorm your ideas. That sounds really, really fun. Thank you, folks. I love Joaquin in that you have learned a lot from Patricia. She brought you to the space. I would love to know a little bit about that journey for you. Um, what has been the most, rewarding part of this journey of building something from scratch and then winning the award, the bounty, and being here today?
Well, I think the best part of this journey was that I like it. I mean, when you start learning something new, sometimes you don't like it, and maybe you feel frustrated, and maybe you don't understand everything you're learning, and it takes more time. But Patricia explained it to me in a way so much easier, and everything worked in my mind. Everything worked in that moment. And as I told you, I started to think in other solutions with this technology, and and I like it, and I want to learn more. I guess I will never stop learning, even from Patricia or this technology or about Sama, and that's the part that I like the most of this journey.
I love that, and also, we have discussed today. Your journey is really interesting. You came from, you both know the technology from the inside. You're proposing solutions for some things that are really important and crucial: payroll, DeFi, lending, borrowing, and even this scoring mechanism to access websites safely, and for the owners to be to be able to filter their users and improve their communities. Those are pretty big problems and pretty interesting use cases. Any advice for the builders that are starting today, exploring, maybe getting inspired by your journey, and on how to start on this journey, how to start on the Sama ecosystem, where to go?
Well, I'm actually kind of old school about this. Like, I'd start with a paper and a pen. Just close your computer, and then just grab a paper and a pen and just get to see the technology and try to really understand it and try to understand how it works on a low level. And then when you understand how something really works and how it works on a low level, then your mind is actually going to start creating ideas from it. Because when you really understand something, then your mind is kind of going to work on its own, and it's going to give you the ideas. Like it happened to me with Black Mirror. I wasn't basically thinking about FHE when I was watching Black Mirror, but the idea came to me.
Maybe you were thinking on it.
Maybe it's just a little. But yeah, that's the thing. Like when you really understand something to that core level, the ideas just come flowing to you. You just have to leave the creative process go on its own and don't try to force it.
And then the problem is just choosing what to do first, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's choosing your priorities.
Definitely. And I love that advice on turn off your computer and turn on your brain, right? We sometimes, and it's also scientifically proven that if you write down things by hand, you learn better, you understand better, and your brain remembers things in a better way. So thank you for that advice. We need to touch grass, people. We need to go outside and find the new problems and the real people that we are building for. And for you, Joaquin, any advice for people starting right now in the space?
Well, in my personal experience, I would say that they don't have to think like it is a normal system. I used to build normal systems without encryption, without blockchain. But when you start using this kind of technologies, you have to think about it, but from zero, from the beginning. You have to design it. You have to think with FHE or any other technology you want to use, and that would be my advice.
That's great piece of advice as well. If I understood correctly, don't just copy what is already existing. try to build it
Yes.
from scratch, right? And
From
that
scratch.
has happened a lot in crypto, and we have had a lot of great applications, but we have also had a lot of things that are just the same ideas from legacy ecosystem, from the financial sector, from other industries, just copy pasted into Web3. And sometimes it's such a bummer, right? They are not actually using the power and the capabilities of this technology, because sometimes we are just trapped in the old ideas and old frameworks. So this advice of think of the problem, try to solve it from scratch, design, go to the table, design the project, the system, the logic behind it. That's fantastic advice. Thank you, folks. It has been so fun to have you. We had a demo, we had real stories, we had Black Mirror, we had cool ideas for people starting. Thank you so much for joining us today. This was Private Coffee, raw unfiltered conversations with the most brilliant minds in the private space. We had two brilliant minds today, Joaquin, Patricia from Spain, joining us, powered by Foley homomorphic encryption and by Zama. And we are here to spotlight the talent within the Zama ecosystem. So if you have someone that you want to suggest us to have in the next episode, to share their story as well, please ping us. Please reach out via X, follow Zama on X, follow private coffee _ and also follow Patricia and Joaquin. We are sharing their X accounts also in private coffee, so you can pitch your Black Mirror ideas to them. Thank you, Patricia. Thank you, Joaquin. Any final words that you want to share with people?
Just start using some new technology that you don't understand, and just give it some time, and then it will come to you with just a couple months or years, it depends. But then you just find community that actually likes the same that you do, and that's kind of really rewarding, you know? It feels good.
Feels good. Fantastic. Joaquin, how about you? Final word.
Well, my advice would be to start building. That's everything I would like to say. Start building, start thinking, start developing, start. Just start.
Just
That's the most
start.
important part.
Fantastic way to finalize this space. Just start, go. After listening to this, go and build something. Thank you, Joaquin. Thank you, Patricia. Thank you, Jan. Thank you, Redman, and everyone that was in the audience. This was Private Coffee. See you. See you in the next episode. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.